Welcome back to OmniUpdate, where we decode the most critical geopolitical maneuvers shaping our world today. For decades, the global economy has been held hostage by a single narrow stretch of water, the Strait of Hormuz. This vital maritime choke point, controlled by Iran, handles nearly 20% of the world's daily oil consumption. For the United States and its allies, the threat has always been clear. If Iran closes the strait, the global energy market collapses, and the world plunges into an immediate economic depression. But while the world was distracted by headlines of naval skirmishes and missile tests, the United Arab Emirates was quietly executing a massive, multi-billion-dollar engineering masterplan to break Iran's stranglehold forever. Deep beneath the scorching sands of the Arabian desert lies a 360-kilometer engineering marvel that has fundamentally changed the chessboard of the Middle East. Today, we are diving deep into the secret history and strategic brilliance of the Habshan-Fujairah Pipeline and analyzing how this single project has effectively neutralized the greatest threat to the global oil supply. To understand why this pipeline is a strategic masterpiece, you have to look at the terrifying geography of the Persian Gulf. Almost all of the massive oil wealth produced by the UAE, Kuwait, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia must pass through the Strait of Hormuz to reach the open ocean. At its narrowest point, the shipping lanes are only 2 miles wide. For years, Iran has used this geographic reality as a loaded gun pointed at the head of the global economy, repeatedly threatening to mine the waters or use its fleet of fast attack boats to block all transit. In a world dependent on just-in-time energy delivery, even a temporary closure would send oil prices skyrocketing past $200 a barrel, triggering a domino effect of hyperinflation across the United States and Europe. The UAE realized that relying on a single, vulnerable exit point was a risk they could no longer afford to take. The solution was the Abu Dhabi crude oil pipeline, more commonly known as the Habshan-Fujairah project. This was not just a construction job. It was a race against time and a massive logistical challenge. The goal was to build a 48-inch wide, high-pressure steel artery starting at the massive Habshan oil fields in the west and carving a path straight through the rugged Hajar Mountains to the port of Fujairah on the Gulf of Oman. The strategic genius here is simple but profound. Fujairah sits outside the Strait of Hormuz. By moving their oil through this pipeline, the UAE can now bypass the Iranian-controlled Chokepoint entirely and load their supertankers directly into the deep waters of the Indian Ocean. The scale of this pipeline is staggering. It is designed to transport over 1.5 million barrels of crude oil every single day, with the capacity to surge to nearly 1.8 million barrels if needed. That is roughly 75% of the UAE's total export capacity. To support this massive flow, the government constructed 8 colossal storage tanks at the Fujairah terminal, each capable of holding 1 million barrels of oil. This has effectively turned Fujairah from a sleepy coastal town into one of the most critical energy hubs on the planet, rivaling Singapore and Rotterdam. For the Pentagon and the U.S. Navy, this pipeline provides a massive strategic cushion. It means that in a direct military conflict with Iran, the flow of UAE oil to the world market would remain largely uninterrupted, reducing the immediate economic pressure on Washington to de-escalate. However, the Habshan-Fujairah pipeline is more than just an insurance policy. It is a direct challenge to Iranian regional dominance. By investing billions into this project, the UAE has sent a clear message to Tehran. Your ability to blackmail the world is fading. This move has fundamentally weakened Iran's primary diplomatic leverage. When the pipeline became fully operational, the power dynamic in the Persian Gulf shifted. It allowed the UAE to align itself even more closely with Western security interests, presenting itself as a reliable and stable energy partner that is immune to the volatility of the strait. But this strategic shift has not gone unnoticed. Intelligence reports suggest that the security of this desert pipeline is now a top priority for UAE special forces. Stretching hundreds of kilometers through uninhabited desert and mountainous terrain, the pipeline is a prime target for asymmetric attacks, sabotage, or drone strikes by regional proxy groups. The UAE has responded by installing a massive network of high-tech surveillance sensors, infrared cameras, and constant aerial drone patrols along the entire route. Furthermore, The port of Fujairah itself has become one of the most heavily defended naval zones in the region, hosting advanced air defense systems and a constant presence of allied naval vessels. We also have to look at the broader economic ripple effects. The success of the Fujairah bypass has inspired other regional powers to seek their own alternatives. Saudi Arabia has been upgrading its east-west pipeline to the Red Sea, and there are renewed discussions about rebuilding old pipelines through Iraq and Jordan. We are witnessing the beginning of a new era in Middle Eastern logistics, the era of the bypass. The era where geographic choke points are being defeated by massive infrastructure and engineering. The Habshan-Fujairah Pipeline is the ultimate example of a geopolitical Plan B becoming a Plan A. It represents a future where the flow of energy is no longer dictated by the geography of a narrow strait, but by the strategic foresight of nations willing to spend billions to secure their sovereignty. As tensions in the Middle East continue to simmer, this 360-kilometer stretch of steel remains the most important invisible line in the world. It is the silent protector of the global economy, buried beneath the sand, ensuring that the lights stay on in cities across the world, regardless of what happens in the waters of Hormuz. We will continue to monitor the expansion of these strategic corridors, the naval movements in the Gulf of Oman, and the shifting power balance between the Gulf monarchies and Tehran. This is the hidden architecture of power that dictates your gas prices and the stability of your investments. What do you think about this massive engineering bypass? Is the era of Iranian dominance over the Strait of Hormuz finally coming to an end? Or will the next conflict find a new way to disrupt this vital desert artery? Share your analysis in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into military and energy strategy valuable, please like this video, share it with your network, and make sure you are subscribed to OmniUpdate for the most comprehensive geopolitical reports on YouTube. Thank you for watching, stay vigilant, and we will see you in the next update.